Hello everyone, welcome back. We are here reading a little bit of Mariana Becomes a Butterfly. I am going to just begin reading to you today. I'm going to read the first couple chapters just to give you some information about Mariana and see what she's going through, okay? Today is going to provide you with some backstory into her problem so that we know how to help her. Okay, so again, this is called Mariana Becomes a Butterfly. This is chapter 1. I'll read the page and then I'll show you the pictures. Okay, so chapter 1. Welcome to my garden. I held my breath as I watched a speckled swallowtail butterfly crawling around the sunny yellow maguey flower in my garden. In Spanish, the word for butterfly is mariposa. My name, Mariana, reminds me of that word. That's one of the reasons I like my name so much. Papa says that when I run around my garden, I remind him of a butterfly, una mariposa, fluttering around. Here in the Dominican Republic, people in the countryside enjoy beautiful gardens year-round. Even in the capital city of Santo Domingo, people grow plants in pots. We have lots of warm, sunny weather, and most plants grow very well here. Okay, so here's Mariana, and this is her garden. Okay. And she's from the Dominican Republic. Okay. But one plant in my garden is not doing well. It's my newest plant and one of my favorites. An ohelo berry plant. My friend Pablo got special permission to bring it back from Hawaii, where he went for vacation. At first, my ohelo plant grew tasty orange and red berries. But now the berries have all fallen off. And even though my plant still grows flowers, I can't get it to grow any new berries. Papa, my ohelo plant isn't growing berries. Do you think it's homesick? My father was weeding the vegetable garden. He walked over and gently lifted up a branch for inspection. That's a very good question, Mariana, he said. Why don't we ask Tia Leticia the next time we see her? Great idea, I said. My Aunt Leticia, or Tia Letty in Spanish, is an agricultural engineer. An engineer, Tia Letty says, uses her creativity and her knowledge of science, math, and materials to solve problems. Agricultural engineers work with biology and the natural world. Tia Letty does a lot of work with plants, especially plants that we use for food. I'm sure she'll be able to help me with my ohelo plant. Okay, backing up. Here is the Dominican Republic. This white part, and that is where Mariana lives. And she lives here in Santo Domingo. And then here is Mariana and her father looking at her ohelo plant. Okay, that was chapter 1. This is chapter 2. My plant puzzle. Tia Letty, I called from her front walkway. She came outside and gave me a big hug. How are you, Mariana? Tia Letty asked. I have a puzzle for you, I said. Papa said you could help me with it. We sat down at the table in Tia Letty's backyard. The plants in her garden were in full bloom. Everywhere I looked, there were splashes and dots of blue, yellow, orange, red, and green. As the flowers swayed back and forth in the breeze, they looked like fluttering butterfly wings. So, what's the puzzle, Mariana? asked Tia Letty. I explained the problems I was having with my ohalo plant. I have been watering it and taking extra special care of it, but it's no use. That is a puzzle, Tia Letty said. But it's one I bet we can solve if we ask some good questions. Do you know how plants make seeds? I nodded eagerly. Yes, Papa told me. It starts with pollination. That's right, Tia Letty said. She had on her teacher face now. Tia Letty loves to teach me things. But do you know how pollination works? I nodded. Sometimes when an insect lands on a plant, the pollen sticks to the insect. I've seen it happen with bees and butterflies on the maguey flowers. If the pollen stuck to the insect falls off onto another maguey flower, that maguey can make seeds. Remember, Papa, that time I got pollen all over my nose? Once I had put my nose into a flower to smell how sweet it was. When I pulled away from the flower, Papa laughed and pointed at my face. I had yellow powder, like fine flour, on my nose. I had picked up pollen from the flower. There's the picture. I had picked up pollen, just like the insects. What a good memory you have, Mariana. You were just like a little mariposa then, Papa said. In many plants that have berries, Tia Letty explained, the seeds are inside the berries. So that's why there were little seeds in my ohalo berries, I said. If my plant is having trouble making new seeds, does that mean it isn't being pollinated? That's an interesting guess. A hypothesis, said Tia Letty. Scientists and engineers like me make hypotheses when we have ideas we want to test. Can you think of a way to test your hypothesis? I could watch my ohalo plant to see if any insects visit it and pollinate it, I said. Tia Letty reached into her bag and pulled out a notebook. An engineer like you will certainly need a place to take notes about what you see. You can have this journal to record your observations. Thank you, Tia Letty, I said. I can't wait to get started. Okay, so there's our first 2 chapters of the book. So now you know a little about Mariana's story. You know she has a garden. You know she has a plant that she's really sad isn't growing berries anymore. And they're working on finding out why. Do you have some predictions? Do you think you might know why it's not producing berries? They gave us some clues in that story. We're going to keep reading or talking through the story to find out why. But we have to keep discussing and reading to find out. Okay? We will revisit more again tomorrow. See you then.